The first activity for this course is going to be drawing a map. This activity is going to help us understand how computers see the world through data, and it'll help us develop empathy for differing perspectives. So, in this activity, you are going to be drawing a map of your school and your school grounds. In this map, you can include any information that you'd like. You get to choose out what is important to put in your map and what you think can be left out. You can see on the screen here that I have an example where I drew the school that I went to as a kid. So we're going to pause the video here and take about 5 minutes and draw a map of your school. Remember, you can include any information in it that you'd like. Okay, so now that you're done your map, try looking at it for a little bit and think about why you chose to include the information that you did. Maybe you want to try uploading a picture of your school map down to edX below this video. You can compare your map to some of the ones that other people have submitted. Why did you choose to include the information that you did? How is it different than some of the other people's? This is a great chance to practice empathy. Each person might see different things in the world as being important to their school and important to their map. They might see their school a little bit differently than they do, and they might use it a little bit differently than you do. So now you have your map, and let's imagine that a new student came to your school and needed a map to find their way around the schoolyard at recess. Do you think that your map would be helpful to them? Well, maybe if you included information about where the playground is, where the entrances to the schools are, where the different features in the schoolyard are, it could be really helpful for that student. But now, let's imagine instead that an electrician came to your school and needed to repair some of the electrical wiring. Would your map be able to help them do this? Well, unless you included information about the electrical wiring of school in your map, it's very unlikely that any electrician would find your map very helpful. So depending on what problem you're trying to solve, the information that you need to solve it can be different. One map might not be good for every single person that wants to use it. So what we just made with our map was a model of the world. Models are ways of simplifying and abstracting the world around us. This can be really helpful as it allows us to filter out information that isn't relevant, and it can make concepts significantly easier to understand. You can see behind me that I have a model of an electron. There's the model of the Canadian British Columbia curriculum for school. And all the way on the right there, there is a model of a computer program just using some basic shapes. But we have to remember that because a model is a simplified representation of the world, it will leave out information. It will be good for solving some problems and not for others. Maybe it'll be good for some people to use and not for others. What we've done here is we've started to go through the process of turning the world around us into data that a computer can understand. We've gone and we've tried to represent the world in a different way. So keep this in mind for our next activity because we're going to be expanding further on these concepts.